Welcome back, guys, to another build video. In this series, we're going to be teaching you how to build our brand new model, the Rambler. And then at the end of the series, we're going to be giving this camper away.
If you haven't already seen video 1, we will go ahead and link it here.
And in this video, we're going to be building the cabinets, the walls, and then we're going to be epoxying and fiberglassing them to get ready for final assembly in the next video. So if you want to stick around, be sure to like and subscribe so you can get more videos like this and see the rest of the series.
Side note, now that we've announced it, if you don't see me often, it's because I'm pregnant, not being lazy.
All right, let's get to work. So this is all Baltic birch stuff that we started using a long time ago. It's unfinished, which we use pre-finished stuff now. But we have we have a couple 5x5 Baltic birch 3/4 inch sheets. And then this is all 4x8 3/4 inch Baltic birch. That's good stuff. And then we have a bunch of these scraps that are pointless. We need 2 4x8 sheets of 1/4 inch plywood. We have a bunch of 5x5 sheets up there. So everything's 5x5 here. We'll make a cut list for 4x8 sheets of plywood and 5x5 sheets of plywood. And I know they're slightly different in different countries, but in general, 4x8 is going to be more universal. I think, for example, in Australia and I think the UK, they're slightly shorter and maybe a little bit wider. I don't know. If you know, correct me on that. We do have floor, so we're good there. We're good there. We just need to get 2x4s for the floor and 1.5 inch insulation. Yeah, we got to go to Home Depot. Lowe's doesn't have 1.5 inch insulation. So if you don't have access to Baltic birch, you can also use this, which is a cheap alternative, but it still looks kind of good. It's called Radiata Pine, which is, it's a 4x8 sheet here in the US at Home Depot. It costs 50 bucks a sheet. So you need 7 of them. What's that? 350 bucks. That's pretty cheap. I think if we went with the Baltic birch, it's around, what would that be? It's like 90 bucks a sheet. So you could also use that. You could also use oak veneer plywood or birch veneer plywood, which Lowe's and Home Depot in the US sell that stuff. But yeah, so all we need today is 2x4s and 1x4s because we have everything else. Let's do that. This is maple plywood. It's beautiful. It has a good finish. You could finish the interior, do the cabinets with this, and then putting a coat of poly or whatever you want to use to finish it with. This you would want to keep the veneer look. So if you want the wood look and you're not going to paint it, I would use a higher grade plywood like this, like maple or the birch. Of course, they don't have 1.5 inch, right?
That's 2 inch.
Oh, we got it. So we got 4 sheets for future builds, but you only need 1 sheet of 1.5 inch insulation for this build. So that's $45, just like that.
Yes, we roll.
So there's a slight modification that we're going to do with the floor. Right now we have the floor, so the quarter inch plywood's on the bottom and the 1/2 inch sheet is on top, but we're gonna switch that so the 1/2 inch is on bottom. I'll show you why. We're gonna lay it on top of this, and because these bolt heads are sticking up, they're probably less than a 1/2 inch thick. So all we'll have to do with the 1/2 inch floor is drill a hole, and then that should just cover the entire thing, with the top of the bottom sheet being above the bolt head, and then we can just seal that up. Let's build the floor. Cut this side because this edge looks pretty good. 5/8. Trim it. So now one gets cut to 48. 48, and one's cut to 46.5. So another way you could do this is mark the lines, use a straight edge like a 2x4 or something like that. You could use a jigsaw, you could use a table saw, you could use whatever you want. If you use a table saw, obviously you'll probably measure this side. So that's 13.5. And then make sure you account for the blade in there as well. Could do it that way, probably be easier. This is all right though. So we cut all the insulation pieces and we started putting them in before I screwed all these in. And I noticed there's a big gap here, about 1.5 inches too big. So I realized that the side pieces of the frame need to be 94.5 inches because the front walls are going to be attached to the front and back of them. Yeah, so I screwed that up. Just going to unscrew it, slide it down, recheck for square, and then chop the ends off with the circular saw. Floor frame is completely done. It's got the insulation in there. The insulation is just kind of sitting in there. So I tried to cut these a little wide and a little long so that I could come back with the flush router bit and just trim it up a little bit. See how we did. I think we're good. So now I'm just going to use this trim router. I got just a flush. This is a 1/4 inch flush trim bit I got from McMaster Car. Here's a 7/8 inch hole saw. Let's see if that's gonna be big enough. Ooh. Yep, I think so. Let's just see if we're square still. Yep, 1 at 11 and just shy of 1/8. 111, just shy of 1/8. Basically, this is going to be what the walls are made out of on all 4 sides. So, and they're going to be sitting on top of this ledge here. So, turns out it's already there. Looks good. This side doesn't look good. I'm just gonna staple this in here. And then I'll do this side, and I'm actually gonna use 1.5 inch construction screws instead of staples, because this stuff's a little bit heavier. All right, so now we're getting into something that I haven't done since the 7th grade, which is fiberglassing. For this entire build, we're just gonna fiberglass all of it, and I'm gonna try to do it before the whole thing's complete. So right now, I'm gonna fiberglass the floor how it is. And we're gonna be using Total Boat 6-ounce cloth. These are 50 inch by 25 yards. So I'll probably have to run it 2 sheets this way. I also have the slow hardener epoxy, and then we have some micro bubbles to go with it to fill in some voids. Oh, another thing, I've done this before back in 7th grade when my dad and I built a hovercraft out of foam and some wood and a bunch of milk jugs. And that was a really fun project. I could spend hours trying to figure this stuff out on YouTube, but I just want to do it. Figure it out on the way. I really hope 25 yards is enough to cover everything. Guys, I've been wanting to do this for, I think, 3 years now. Since I built the first one and I used aluminum, I've been wanting to try this as well. And I'm stoked. Okay, that was a lot easier. All right, guys, so for this build, we're gonna be using Total Boat epoxy resin. This one in particular, is high performance epoxy with a slow hardener. And I think it has about a 40-minute work time. So I love that. Gives us a little bit more time if we screw things up. They sent us a ton of these containers with mixing ratios. We got the pumps, and we got plenty of micro bubbles. So micro bubbles are things you use, micro balloons. The purpose of the micro balloons is to kind of thicken the epoxy a little bit, and it gives you a way to fill voids. So when we have these 2 pieces overlapping right here, we're going to be able to use some of the micro balloons, fill that in, and then we'll be able to sand it down and it'll look perfectly smooth. All right, so for starters, I'm going to go to the first 2 here. Oh boy. And then I'm going to add the hardener to the second 2. There we go. And it's on. 2 minutes. Now let's see how far this stretches on the bottom. I have a feeling it's not going to go very far. We want to give a huge shout out to Jackery for sponsoring this video series and making this giveaway possible.
When it comes to building a camper, you need power you can trust, whether it's for the tools in your garage or for the journey ahead. That's why we're excited to have the Jackery 1000 V2 as part of this build.
With a Jackery solar generator, we're not only bringing power to our camper, but also peace of mind for any situation.
One of the beauties of the Jackery is its versatility. From charging your phone off-grid to running lights and electronics on a weekend getaway, it's ready whenever you need it.
When Hurricanes Helene and Milton hit, millions across the South were left without power for days.
Having a backup power source can make a huge difference in times like these. With Jackery's reliable power and solar charging, you're not just equipped for the outdoors, you're prepared for the unexpected.
After the storm, we used our Jackery to keep our fridge running, charge our neighbors' phones and electronics, and even took it out to help clear local trails. Knowing it's there, ready to help us power through tough times is invaluable.
From off-grid adventures to essential backup during an outage, Jackery is more than just power. It's peace of mind wherever you roam.
Now back to the build. All right, so this is dry. It's been one day. I think it looks pretty good. I'm not exactly sure what it's supposed to look like, but I'm still gonna take some 80 grit sandpaper and sand the entire thing, and then I'm gonna do probably another 2 light coats. What I've heard from the boat builders is wait 2 days. It makes it easier to sand and it doesn't gum up the sandpaper as much. So we're gonna have to put that on hold. We've got our handy dandy cut list and cutting diagram here. A couple straight cuts and then I'll take it to the miter saw. Oh yeah, this is gonna be cake. This, you can see, this is how they're set up. So I just cut that. I thought that might have been the cabinet face or something, but it's the cabinet sides and the side tables. I was wrong. Guys, I know that doesn't look like a lot of work, but it's not too bad. I got a little sweat going though. Where are we at? This should be 44 3/8. That's gonna be B and B for a bulkhead. All right, we got one more. Looks like just these are the interior shelves. This is the inside of the cabinet, top shelf. And then these are some galley partitions we're gonna put in the back to kind of help level the countertop and also help with installation and divide it up. All right, guys, that's it. So I have two walls, the side walls to cut. And then there's 3 pieces right here. That's everything. It took me about an hour, maybe actually probably about 45 minutes to cut this. And this is all the scrap we have over here. I mean, that's nothing. That's pretty efficient. Now there's one more cut. This is going to be the front wall. And because the camper has an angled top corner, this has to match that top corner. Let's go figure that one out and we'll be right back. Here we are. This is my office. So these are all the parts that we just cut out. I still need to cut the door opening for the rear, and I also need to cut the openings here for the cabinet, for the interior cabinets. And then again, these little radius corners for the side tables. But right now, what I'm working on here is, let's get that side angle. This is the angle that I'm getting ready to cut. And because I cut it flat, I'm gonna start the angle that way and then go here. So it's 33.7 degrees. Let's do it. Wow. Okay, so like I mentioned before, I'm using this. I'll show you what it does. So I'm gonna set this to 33.7 and just about 34. So basically what I'm doing here is I want this blade, so I have this is flush right here, or this flat, and then up here I've kind of cut out an 1/8 inch, which is the thickness of the blade there. So I want that blade thickness to go behind this where I'm going to be shoving the piece of plywood. I hope that makes sense. It's been another long day. So the way we do this is I just get down and I'm just trying to connect this corner right here to go just to the left of the blade where it kind of meets the table. And that looks good right there. Another thing we want to consider right now is what side we want on the inside of the camper. You kind of want to pick the pretty side, right? This one has a lot more character, there's a lot more grain to it, and we like the wood grain. I don't know, this one's kind of cool too though. I'm gonna go this way. All right, and in this case, the bottom is going to be the interior piece because that's kind of the long face. The shorter face is going to be on the outside. All right, let me show you what we got. So tomorrow we're meeting my family in Asheville, North Carolina. Gonna be doing some hiking, drinking some beer. So I won't see you for 4 days, 5 days. But you'll see me here in about 5 seconds. All right, we'll see you then. Here. All right, so I've got all the walls cut, I got the floor done. Now I have all these parts that are already cut from Baltic birch. But now I need to finish all the extra cuts. The holes for the interior cabinet face. I need to cut the little arc radiuses on the side tables. And what else is there? Oh, the back door opening in this big piece right there. So I'm gonna use the circular saw and the jigsaw. So, all right, let's get after it. Paige just laid out all the markings on the wall. So now we're going to use the jigsaw to cut out. We're just going to cut off this little section here, and we're going to cut out the door. Oh yeah, baby, here we go. Wait, I gotta check these measurements. Good job. So another option to cut these parts is to use a circular saw. The jigsaw, the jigsaw is it's a little bit slower. I'm still going to use the jigsaw to cut the radiuses on the top of the door, but I'm going to plunge in with this and then also cut any excess cuts that need to be made with the jigsaw. All right, guys, I think that's going to be pretty much it for this video. But let's quickly recap on where we're at. All right, well, I need to call Paige to figure out what we did this video. She's at home editing this video. Hey. So, what did we do this video?
What did we do?
Yeah, what did we start out doing? Did we build the floor?
Yeah, we walked around and got all the materials, went to Home Depot, built the floor. Everything but the trailer frame happens in this video.
Gotcha. All right. Sounds good.
Perfect. When are you coming home?
Whenever I finish this.
Okay, cool.
I'm recording right now.
Oh,
So you're going to be in the video on the phone.
oh cool. With my weird voice?
Oh yeah. That's going in.
No. Dang it.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, Paige. All right. Well, there you have it. In this video, we built the floor, we fiberglassed the floor, we cut all the parts for the cabinets, the walls that are behind me, and we even sanded and did all the pocket holes as well. I wanted to cover a couple things before we get out of here. Number one, if you like this kind of content, please let us know down in the comments and what you like about it, what you think we can improve. We're always trying to improve our YouTube channel for you guys. Number two, if you want to enter to win this camper that we're building, go down to the description and click on the link that says show me the camper, and you'll be sent to our website where you can enter. And number three, if you want to build this camper yourself and don't want to wait around to see if you want it, then you can actually purchase our plans on our website. This one is called the Rambler, and we also have the Vaga, which is our classic teardrop shape, the Renegade, which is a little bit more rugged, and the Hopper, which is a 4x8 model that somebody could build in a weekend. And lastly, of course, if you like this content, like this video and subscribe to our channel so you get more like it. And we got 4 more videos coming out. Next video, we're going to be assembling everything. So be sure to subscribe so you get that content. And as always, thanks for watching all the way to the end. You guys are the real MVP. We love you, and we'll see you in the next one. Hooah!